Mike Jones. Mike Jones.
BBN Jack Frost. What's up, party people? How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's having a beautiful day today. Now, first of all, we're not even going to be coy. Check this out. For everybody that wants to celebrate, I'm with you. Let's celebrate. I actually celebrated a little bit today, too. For everybody that don't know, I had pancakes. I said, you know what? Boom. I ordered some pancakes from IHOP. I had a celebratory meal tonight. Boom. I'm just going to let you know what we did. Reason being is, also didn't eat lunch this morning, so I kind of condensed all of my meals, just so we can be clear. But I want to be 100% transparent on something. The people that are gonna complain that he was convicted and say that this is enough is the same people that was gonna complain if he wasn't convicted. Have that energy. When you see somebody running up wanting to complain, oh man, yo, look at what happened. Yo, look. I don't care that he got convicted, this thing and that thing, and don't forget about this thing and that thing. Nah, sometimes you got to get a win. You got to sit down. You got to inhale that win. You got to live in that moment. Because sometimes, every once in a while, there's a moment that happens, right? That moment is going to be talked about for years to come, for moments to come. This is one of those moments. All right? So tonight we're going to talk about the Derek Chauvin case in depth. We're going to speak about his charges that he was actually charged for. Like I told you previously, he was facing up to 40 years. If y'all remember, they had like the weirdo that was coming in here like, yo man, but what was they trying to say? Manslaughter's only 10 years or some shit like that. Yeah, manslaughter's only 10 years, but there was 3 charges that he was charged with. Manslaughter was only one of them. There was also second-degree murder and third-degree murder, which he was found guilty of all 3 of those charges. So therefore, second-degree murder, like I was trying to explain to everybody, that's 40 years maximum. Boom. Second-degree murder, third-degree murder is 15 years, and manslaughter is 10 years. So manslaughter is the least amount of time, just so we can be clear. Real quick, before we even get into the show, we're going to call out the people, not the actual drops, but the people who did drops this morning, because we got to give appreciation to everybody that pulls up. And then we're going to get right into the show, and we're going to talk about this particular case. And also, shout out to Red Man and Method Man for coincidentally having their versus the same night as the verdict, which also coincidentally fell on 420. I was raising my eyebrows like, like the sarcasm thing, if y'all didn't notice. Pardon me. All right, let's get into this real quick. All right, shout out to DSTN shout out to James S, shout out to Wheezy, shout out to DSTN again, shout out to Rule, don't nobody see them dots Jones, shout out to Ben Roman, shout out to Felice Cortez again, shout out to New York Silver Stacker, shout out to Liberty Hazelton, shout out to Net Stars Live, shout out to Queen Shah, shout out to DZ, shout out to Crystal C, shout out to Shelly, shout out to Mega Bills, and shout out to DZ. Definitely appreciate all of you guys. I appreciate A1. Yo, look, at the end of every night I say, hug, see who's awake in your household, and I want you to show them love and appreciation. There's a reason for that. We don't only want other people to know that we love and appreciate them, but we want to leave an indelible mark on those people that we do love, so they never forget us. So we should always be letting the people that we know that we love know that we love them. Therefore, they can reciprocate that love, and even if they don't, they know that we love them. So boom. That's what we need to do. That's why I do that. Now, check out this. I want to say something real quick before we get into the whole hodgepodge of whatever the hell was going on over there with the Chauvin case. Like I told y'all earlier, he did not have an actual defense. Like, you can't go to trial and not have a defense. He didn't have a defense. I told you that before. I told you that this morning. Anyway, let's do roll call real quick. What up, Black Cuddy? How you doing? Salute to the Black Space. What up, Woo? Don't nobody see them dots Jones. He says BBN family Frost. What up, DJ Boolin? He says $27 million equals conviction. It's not done for justice. Brother, I don't understand what you're trying to say. You think that justice is easy? You think that anything is done without money exchanging hands in America? This is America. I'm more surprised it only cost $27 million. What are you talking about? One of the reasons in which why the police officers usually win when they're in the wrong, or when we believe them to be in the wrong, should I say, one of the reasons is because their unions and everything else, they have so much buying power. They have so much money in order to be able to either keep people in court or be able to fight whatever the problem is that the government is throwing at them. That's one of the reasons why they always win. So the fact that this time around, the individuals that were going against the police had money to throw around to go against these officers, what the hell do you expect? You want all officers to get off unless we can do it on the cheap? We can't put those officers in jail unless we do it on the cheap. This is your argument? I don't understand. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. I need you to explain that to me, my brother. What up, KC? How you doing? What up, Brian Watt? What up, Monica Kendra Whitehead? Okay. What up, Shells? How you doing, yo? Who else we got? Yeah, I need for you to explain that to me. Like, the only way that we could put any of these police officers in jail is if we do it on the cheap? Is that what you say, homie? Hold on, I gotta blow my nose. That's the only way we could put these police officers in prison, is if we do it on the cheap? I'm just asking. What up, Phil Jackson? I know everybody was going live earlier when the verdict was read. I decided to wait. I decided to just have this conversation do our normal show. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm going to explain why it cost $27. I'm going to explain one of the reasons why it cost $27 million, homeboy. I don't even know if you hear any further, but I'm going to explain. It was actually a good reason that you brought that up, because you brought up one of the best points in which why Derek Chauvin is in prison right now. Check this out. Who prosecuted Derek Chauvin? A prosecuting attorney, right? Who do the prosecuting attorneys usually work with? The police, right? So most of the time, these police officers, and I'm not trying to drag anybody. I'm not trying to drag any politician or any police officer or any other prosecuting attorney. I just want to explain something. When these prosecuting attorneys, right? Now look, check it, listen. When this prosecuting attorney usually works, other than when he's trying to put a police officer in jail, who's his partners? The police. I do know this, right? So now when they got to go against a police officer and they have to try to convict the police officer, how much chutzpah do you think they got? These are the guys they usually work with. Let's just keep it a stack and be fair about it. These are the guys they done did 100 cases with. You know what happens when you prove that there's a police officer that's a dirty cop? Some of that guy cases might get thrown out. Some of those cases that he prosecuted. Whoever the prosecuting attorney is. I don't know if anybody ever thinks about this. But I know if I built my career and I'm at a certain status in my career and I'm going up because I'm putting people away, and now all of a sudden these police officers who are my partners now, they are my partners. We work together in the same building maybe. Get in trouble because one or two of them is a douchebag and decides that they're not going to do their job the appropriate way on whatever day that was. Now I have to prosecute this guy. So I just want y'all to keep that in mind when y'all realize who's prosecuting the police. This individual might have all of the wants to get all of the bad police off the street. But at the same time, this is the individuals who he work with. After I start putting these police away and putting them in jail, there's other cases I gotta work that I'm gonna need their assistance. Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm wrong. I'm gonna throw this bag song on real quick, and then we're gonna start the show. Somebody already got kicked. Dope. Somebody already got kicked. Dope.
Say the wrong thing and get the bags. With the force of everything that I have. Say the wrong thing and get the bags. Oh, now you niggas salty and you mad. Niggas say the wrong thing. Cuckoo. And get thrown out the conversation. Throw up 2 fingers and tell them, please don't keep the drama away. Bye. Donate to the cause and hit the cash app. And if you ain't got it, them likes are free. Go and smash that. BBN. Hit that with a hashtag. Sick with the content. Come around and need a hazmat. Jack Frost. Yeah, you dudes need to back off. He got the work around here. Yeah, we all tip our hats off. Keep the same name. That's what you point for. But if you coming back in, put a 2% 2.0, big bags. And you asking what they heavy for? Foot and ass be going hella crazy with the petty wars. Good conversation, that's what we be really ready for. Good conversation like being on the bottom of a heavy whore. Nah. Why niggas be like that? I unsubscribe and tell them, yo, hey, I'll be right back. Say the wrong thing and get the bags. With the force of everything that I have. Say the wrong thing and get the bags. Oh, now you niggas salty and you mad. Niggas say the wrong thing and get the bags. With the force of everything that I have. Say the wrong thing and get the bags. Oh, now you niggas salty and you mad. Niggas say the wrong thing.
Yeah, bags. We just kicked that guy straight out the door. We don't got time for that. We hold those over here. Who the fuck is that dude? Hold on, bro. Can we get bags in the chat? Y'all don't see it, but somebody got hit with bags. For everybody that don't know, this time around when they decided that they were going to prosecute these individuals, Derek Chauvin specifically, they didn't just use the attorneys that they had at their access. You want to know what else they did? They went and got attorneys that fight them. They deputized like these civil rights attorneys. The main black dude that y'all seen that was doing the cross-examination and everything, that dude don't work for the government. That dude is not part of the freaking whatever department they got. They deputized that rat bastard and told him to come over here, get this work. I'm telling you what happened. Hold on. I'm telling you what happened. You see, previously, just like I just told y'all right before we actually came on, previously what would happen is, listen. Previously what would happen is, I'm not even. Previously, what happened was, whoever the district attorneys or whatever it is in whatever region that is, they are going against these trial attorneys, so they lose. These are trial attorneys, these district attorneys, these government attorneys. They're good. Don't get this confused, but they're going against these trial attorneys who get paid big bucks. This time they brought their own trial attorney in to help the government. That's what I heard. That's what Sean King said. That's what Sean King said. So I say this. Are they going to do this every time? Are they going to bring these trial attorneys in there every time? That's what Sean King said. That's what Sean King just did an interview with George Floyd's attorney. That's what Sean King said. And George Floyd's attorney co-signed it. They brought outside attorneys in to work with the prosecution to put Derek Chauvin away. The question is, now, is that the new method? Is that the new method? Is that how they giving it up now? That's the question. I don't check those. High Noon says no victory today. No matter what happened, you wasn't gonna be happy, right? Still need justice. First of all, we still need more things to happen. There were more people that have not went to trial yet, or I don't know if they've been charged or whatever. But there's more people that are not currently locked up in over this particular situation. I don't know what, I forgot what happened with the other 3 guys. But check this out. Listen. I told y'all all of those guys was gonna turn on Derek Chauvin. So don't be surprised if they sign papers somewhere. Don't be surprised if they sign papers somewhere and they went against Derek Chauvin in order to not be prosecuted themselves. That's literally what happens in the streets all the time. So High Noon says no victory today, still need justice. 1 got charged, 5 people committed the crime. Down 400 years, still no justice. So no matter what happens, you're not going to be happy? Of course we got more things to go, but if we don't even get, if not 1 drop of rain falls, if not 1 drop of water falls, how can it rain? They didn't sentence him yet. 8 weeks. If not one drop of rain falls, if not one drop of water falls, how can it rain? Explain that to me, Hanu. Because everything can't happen at once. Right? Everything isn't going to all happen at once. So one thing has to happen, then another thing has to happen, and another thing has to happen. So if one drop of water doesn't fall, how can it rain? I think this was a win. I think this isn't the win. I think this is the beginning of wins. I think this verdict happening on 420, I don't think that was a mistake. I think this verdict they needed for this verdict to happen on a day that is a known day that could be remembered, where it could be celebrated with other things at the same time, where it could be seen as something positive. Now, do I think that this is the end? No, this is far from it. But this is something for us to sit back and be proud of ourselves. Be proud of stuff that we helped make happen. If you don't think the way that the elections went helped make this happen, I don't know what to tell you. If you don't think reposting and resharing parts of this case didn't help make this happen, I don't know what to tell you. If you didn't think people going out there in them streets and being active didn't help make this happen, I don't know what to tell you. So now we're going to tell, so now Hanoun, you want to go tell all of those people that their efforts are for nothing? I'm just asking. Because I don't think their efforts is for nothing. And I'm very happy and appreciative that everybody that went out there and did whatever they did it. I think sometimes we got to learn how to be grateful, but know that that's not the end, that there's more to go get. There's more to go get. There's a lot more to go get. There's a lot more to go get. Do y'all remember? I don't know if y'all remember. I posted on Instagram the other day that I got a button. Somebody's live on my Instagram. It always say live. Like, I don't understand why I do that. So sometimes accidentally, because it's just always at the front of my jump off, I try to go in people lives. Sometimes I accidentally go in other people's lives or whatever the case is. Sometimes I stay. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I might go accidentally in somebody live and just be like, I ain't fucking them. See what they doing. Maybe God sent me. I don't know. So accidentally I went into somebody's live the other day, right? So it's not a big deal. I probably go in somebody's live accidentally like 4 or 5 times a day. It happens. So I go in somebody's live and they was busy talking so negative, and it just kind of touched my heart. Some young girl. I don't know who the fuck she is. Well, I know who she is. She makes music. She makes dope music on also, by the way. I heard one of her songs once. I told her that she need to make a video for it. I hope she does. She makes some dope music. Like, it's hard for me to explain, but I've heard, I saw her perform once live. It was a good song. She had a good set. So I was like, damn, that's good energy. Then I heard her sing some shit on one of her lives or some shit, and the shit was kind of dope. So I believe that we're always supposed to motivate people or whatever the case is. So the other day, I saw her down a little or whatever, because she was like, I don't know, saying some depressive stuff. So I just, since I spoke to her previously before, trying to motivate her to do some music, I don't know her situation or whatever the case is, so I don't have the slightest idea if she's going to do any music. So I'm trying to motivate her to do some music, because she made one song that I like. So I hit her and I said, if you ever need, I don't expect the person to hit me, but I hit her and said, if you ever need somebody to talk to, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it's just easier to talk to somebody who not going to judge you. Like, that's hard to say. But other people can tell you that I hit people sometimes. I've hit quite a few people sometimes and ask them if you need somebody to talk to or whatever the case is. So the point being is this. That's the type of energy we need to have for one another. Like that. Like, that's the type of energy we need to have for one another. For real, for real. For real. Like, that's the energy we need to have for one another. This is like, for real. I get it that this is not the end-all be-all yet. But we got to start somewhere. I don't care how bad shit look. Like, we got to do something to help turn shit around. And the easiest way to turn shit around for yourself is to try to turn shit around for the people that's next to you. That's a fact. Netstar says, shout out to Queen Shot. We got Queen Shot in the house. Did I do roll call? I don't remember. Queen Shot, Netstar says, Queen Shot, you too, lady, I'm hella emotional right now. I'm praying this is change. I'm Native American, and believe me, this is a win for everybody. I think that this was a good thing. It's a fact. I think that there's a lot that we still have left to do. But that don't mean that we should just look at this like this wasn't a win. Hanu says, I know how this might sound for us, but the cost of freedom is blood. You just wanted something, you just wanted violence and everything to happen. Nobody don't got time for that. What do you think is going to happen when violence break out? More of us is going to die. More black people are going to die to anything. I don't know why you want black people to break out into violence and the police start shooting people down. I don't know why you want that. What do you think is going to happen when the violence break out, homie? What do you think is going to happen when the violence break out? What are you going to do when they roll up in our neighborhoods with tanks? So the point is, if violence has to break out, let it be because we actually... What kind of sense does it make to want violence to break out? Let's see if there's a way that we can solve whatever the problems is without losing people. We shouldn't be wanting to lose people. Why? I heard that another person got shot. I heard that a young girl got shot. Hold on, let's look at it. I'll pull it up. I heard a young girl got shot. How was he? During what? Was it during the I don't know. Was it during the thing? I don't know if it was during the thing. Ohio teen disturbance. Hold on. Daily News. Hold on. We're gonna pull it up. Let's pull it up. What the hell? Let's pull it up. What in the hell? A 16-year-old black girl was fatally shot by police Tuesday afternoon in Columbus, Ohio, after officers responded to a disturbance. The girl named Makia Bryant, a family member, told 10 TV. Protesters rallied against the shooting, which took place just before former Minneapolis cop Derek Chauvin was convicted of murder in May 2020 death of George Floyd. Police in Ohio were called to the scene around 4:30. The Daily Beast reported, according to 10 TV, the caller had phoned cops to report a fight outside her home. But Bryant's aunt told reporters Micaiah had called 911 because she was being abused and that the teen didn't deserve to die like a dog in the street. Wait, what? A knife was reportedly found next to the victim. She was transported to a hospital and pronounced dead less than an hour later. Officers were said to have responded to a report of an attempted stabbing. Police did not comment on the case. The teen was reportedly shot 4 times. Columbus Mayor Andrew Githner said law enforcement at the site of the shooting wore body cameras and footage was being reviewed. He also called for calm during the investigation. Video purportedly shot at the scene showed a body on the ground. Protesters, body on the ground. Protesters, some carrying signs, quickly arrived to the area. Later, they will protest outside the Columbus Police Headquarters. Protesters have gathered the region lane in Chatterton Road in Southwest Columbus. Police confirm officer shot and killed someone. According to WBNS 10, the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation, the BCI, I'm guessing they calling them. The OBI, they probably calling them the Ohio Bureau of Investigation. OBI has taken over the investigation. It's another murder. They're animals. They treat us like animals. Okay, first, let's find out what happened. I'm going to tell you what. First of all, let's pray for the young girl and her family. That's one. Let's pray for the young girl and her family. That's one. All right? That's one. Let's pray for the young girl and her family. Let's pray for the young girl and her family. That's one. All right? Let's just keep it a stack. What the fuck? Let's pray for the young girl and her family. That's one. Two, once again, I want us to stop every single time something bad happened, assume it was done with malice. Let's find out what happened. Because I'm going to tell you what it sounds like to me. Listen, it sounds like somebody called the police, right? It could have been the girl, called the police, right? When the police got there, somebody had a knife in their hand. I don't know what this is. When somebody got there, she had a knife in her hand. I'm hoping that that's not what it is, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you got a knife in your hand, 9 times out of 10, the police going to shoot you. If you black, you got a knife in your hand, police is going to most likely shoot you. If you white and you got a knife in your hand, police should most likely shoot you. If you have a knife in your hand and you're coming, I don't know, we don't know what happened. It's a shame that that young girl got shot 4 times. Let's find out what happened. They got the body cam, right? So we deal with that when we deal with that. Right now, let's deal with this. You people got to learn to understand that we can't deal with everything all at once. We deal with that when we deal with that. Right now, let's deal with this. We don't even know nothing on this case. Did they have any footage that was able to be released? I'm just asking. Forget the body cam by the police. Do we got people outside that had cameras? And if so, could somebody shoot that footage right now? Because I'm going to tell you what's going to start happening. Listen. I'm going to tell you what's going to start happening. Listen. You're going to have some idiots out there that's going to be testing the police and putting the police in situations where they probably should shoot them. You're going to have idiots doing stupid shit and then yelling out, oh, he's about to kill me, when they're doing things that you know might get you shot. You're going to have individuals who love playing the victim outside fucking with these police playing the victim. So we don't know this situation. All we know is that that young girl was in distress. She called the police. At least that's what it looks like that said. She was in distress. She was in danger. She called the police. When the police got there, for whatever the reason was, the police ended up shooting her. So something went wrong. So could we find out what went wrong before we, like, they don't even have no evidence and they don't have no, even no theories in that article. I'm just saying, can we find out what's going on? That's it. Wait, people think it happened during the verdict? Why would they think that? It's in Ohio, right? Isn't the verdict in Minneapolis or some shit like that? Wait, there's people that think that this happened during the... Wait, hold on. Let me reread this. That's not what I read. Maybe I read something wrong. Hold on. I could be wrong. But that's not what I read, though. Hold on. What the hell? Wait, what are y'all talking about? People think this happened during the verdict? Maybe I read something wrong. What the fuck? Hold on, let me go to something. Let me see if there's anybody I usually read for. No, only local. Columbus Dispatch. It looked like they might be affiliated with these guys. An angry crowd protested near a home in the southeast side where Columbus, Ohio. This shit, what the fuck? I don't know what to tell you. I'm not laughing at. I'm sorry that happened to the young girl, but I can't believe that. Wait, I don't understand. The shooting happened just minutes before, or they just trying to say that whatever the thing has happened, it happened minutes before the Derek Chauvin jury announced the verdict. I guess that's what they're trying to say, but this happened in Ohio. Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation. Minneapolis isn't in Ohio, is it? I don't. Ain't it a state? Now I'm confused. I'm not even lying. I'm confused as hell right now. Please don't be telling me about crazy stuff. You confusing me. You breaking me. Like, that don't make sense. I don't understand what you're... Wait, can you make a video? But why would I make a video to explain that? I mean, I guess I could just make a video on it. And I'll say that in the video also, but I'm not going to make a video just to explain something that should be common sense. What in the hell? Webbit says, winning court of law, you need more than the truth. You need to know how to play the rules. Sometimes choosing a lawyer can be the difference between winning and losing. Sometimes choosing a lawyer. Do you understand what they did? They went and got the lawyers that usually work on the civil rights. They went and got civil rights attorney. I think that's who that dude was. That black dude. That black dude. The black dude that was doing such a great job. I believe that somebody got that attorney for them. Not for nothing. Like, somebody went and got that attorney for them. That guy does not. He got deputized in order to be able to work on that case. They had to deputize him. At least that's what I heard. I heard they had to deputize him in order for him to be able to work on the case. That's what they might be doing, looking further into the future. That's what this money that people is donating places, that's where this money is going to probably be going. This money is going towards making sure that there's the appropriate lawyers to be able to help the prosecution. Now, my question is this. All of you people that's always talking about snitches, how do y'all feel about that? Which comments are you talking about specifically, Phil Jackson? I think marching helped a lot. What are you talking about? I think marching is good. Marching is a show of camaraderie. I think marching did a lot. I think that we should do a lot more marching. I think marching is a good thing. I think marching helps bring the people together. I like marching. I go out to marches sometimes also. So I'm not just saying I like marches because I watch them. Yeah, but we're not talking about Biden's policies right now. Right now, we're talking about this case. That's whataboutisms. Why we want to bring up Biden's policies for? I don't even understand how Biden's policies will have anything to do with this specific situation. I don't know anywhere inside of Biden's policies where it says to be doing something. Yeah, I said marching too. And you called me a clown and you didn't hear what I said? Okay, copy. You know what? I'm just going to not read your comments and let you just be salty in the chat so everybody could just be like, hater. But yeah, marching did a lot of good. Marching showed camaraderie. Marching allowed for other people who might not necessarily be inside of our fight learn what it took to come help us with our fight and also bring their fight, which we helped them with. Marching was good. Need more marching. Marching helps to bring the community together. Yeah, he has the right to appeal. Anytime you go to trial and you don't cop a plea, I believe you have the right to appeal. I don't think that they're gonna. I don't think he has a chance to win any appeal whatsoever. Because in order to win an appeal, just so we could be clear, you have to do a couple of things that you would have to prove. One would have to be that the trial wasn't fair, or that it was rigged or something like that. Two would have to be is that, like, if you had your lawyers was incompetent or something like that, your representation was incompetent. Three is there was some kind of the trial was like rigged, but outside forces messing with it is rigged also. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of stuff that you have to prove, or you have to have like new evidence that nobody knew about before. I don't think they can do any of these things, so I don't even. That's why I don't think they can do any of this. What new evidence? What could they possibly bring that they don't have before? So I don't think they could do any of these things. But what do I know? We've spoken a lot about court over here. I've been right a lot. Not saying I've been right 100% of the time, but I've been right a lot. Yes, it is extremely difficult to appeal in the feds. Queen Shah said everyone has their own way of protesting. Some people march, some people post and repost, some make music, some make videos. I think the question is, what can you do? The act of protesting is basically the act of using your voice, just so we can be clear. So the act of protesting something is the act of using your voice, right? And when I say voice, I don't just mean to speak. You know what I'm saying? I mean like your presence, your voice, your that's the act of protesting, right? So, yeah, Queen Shah's 100% correct. Everyone has their own way of protesting. Some people march, some people post and repost, some people make music, some people make videos. Yeah. I make videos. I post, I repost. I actually do go march. And then I film the marches. And then I share the marches with the people who couldn't be there. So if somebody wants to criticize me for doing that, I don't know what to tell you. Netstar says, Frost, also since he took it to trial, he should get the high end of sentencing. That's why they do to us. Do y'all remember a while back, right? His bond was revoked. The government asked that the judge revoke his bond. So the judge revoked his bond. Now he's found guilty. We can't have him out in the public now. Now, Netstar's Law says, Frost, also since he took it to trial, he gets the high end of sentencing. That's what they do to us. Absolutely. Same crime, same time. Right? I expect for him to get the 40. I expect for him to get the 40 and at least the 15. I expect him to do between 40. I expect it to be in the 45-year range. Pardon me. I expect it to be in the 45-year range. You want to know why? Because it don't matter. He like 40-something years old now. If they give him 30 years, that's a death sentence. That's a death sentence. They give him 30 years, it's a death sentence. So they might as well give him 45. They give him death sentence. They give him, maybe if they give him 30 and like after 15 years or 10 years a chance of parole, but I don't see them doing that. I don't see a parole board paroling them. But maybe. What do I know? But they give him 30 years, it's a death sentence. What is he now? 45, 50? Nah, I think they're going to run it concurrently. I don't think they're going to run it like that. I think they're going to, if anything, they're going to run it concurrently. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with 45 years run concurrently. You give him the 40. Well, that's only 40 years then. So, yeah, I'm fine with the 40 years. I'm fine with 40 years because I don't even think he going to make it. I'm fine with 40 years. Run them concurrently. I'm fine with 40 years. $40 years is good. If they give him 10 years, that's the bullshit. If they give him 15 years, that's the bullshit. If they give him 20 years, that's the bullshit. Anything over 25 years, I'm good with. Because I don't think he's gonna survive. So they might just, that's what I'm saying, they might just do it as a to make a point. And just give him the whole 40, 15, and 10 and run it concurrently. That's, he gotta make it to 80? You understand what I'm saying? Like, he gotta make it to 80 before he get out? He gotta make it to 80. No, you gotta he gotta make it to 70 before he get out. That's a death sentence. It's a death sentence. I think that we should appreciate I think we should appreciate everything that the people that's going out there and doing all the marching and all that. I think we should appreciate them. Do not get this confused. I think we should appreciate everything that they're doing. Like, one of the things I don't get, I'm going to tell you what I don't get. I'm going to keep it a whole stack with you. I'm going to tell you something I don't get. Listen, I don't get how people keep saying, why do activists get paid? Like, what do you expect them to do? In order for them to be activists, they're supposed to be like in the lower end of life? Yeah, I think anything under 25 is going to be bullshit. You got to get more than 25. And the only way for him to get more than 25 is if they literally give him the maximum on the murder 2. They got to give him the maximum on the murder 2. That's 40. I think that that's adequate. What you got to understand is this, right? What are y'all going to do, right? I want to know what y'all going to do when we have in America where the police are being held responsible for their actions. So now you can't say fuck all police. Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Because remember, the only reason why the regular civilian don't like the police is because the police is killing regular civilians. What happens when the police stop killing regular civilians? I think a lot of y'all not ready for that. I have no idea what they're going to do with him as far as when they put him in the prison. But realistically, they have to make sure that they don't put him somewhere where his life is in danger, right? And there's a lot of places where his life is going to most likely be flat out in danger. Phil Jackson said the news says there's something about because it was a child that witnessed it, he might get more time. I'm pretty sure they're going to give him the 40 on the... I'm pretty sure they're going to give him the 40. I'm pretty sure they're going to give him the 40. And every police officer should want them to give him the 40. Every good police officer should want him to get the 40. Even the ones that just got his back out of solidarity, inside somewhere, they should want him to get the 40, whether they know it or not. Yeah, they hit him with all his bags. They're about to hit him with all his bags. It's a fact. Now check this out real quick. I was looking for this shit. I'm literally looking me dead in the face. What in the hell? Check this out. What up, young Earl? Check this out. Listen. Listen. Right? Are there even arrests for the other officers? I don't even think the other officers are arrested. They're about to put an end to all the bullshit, y'all. That's why they ended qualified immunity in a couple of states already. They're about to put an end to all the bullshit. There's a great change going on right now. We're living in one of those moments that are going to be spoken about for years to come, for moments to come. Appreciate this shit. I'm going to give you the best example I could give you. You think when Martin Luther King and Malcolm X was having those speeches and having those marches, and tiny little things was happening here and tiny little things was happening there, that we still celebrate to this day, like the I Dream a Dream, I Dream a Dream speech? Imagine being the dude that was there when he was doing the I Dream a Dream speech and saying out loud to everybody, oh man, this don't mean nothing. Imagine being that guy. So appreciate what's going on. It happened on 420 for a reason, y'all. Don't be slow. What up, New York urban legend? It happened on 420 for a reason. Roadrunner said he got to do 20 at 85. I think he's going to get more than 20. You think they only going to give him 20? History in the making. That's a fact. You think they only going to give him 20? Imagine if they run it consecutively and give him 53. Could they wait? Murder 2 could be life also. Is it just only 40? This is one of those moments. So appreciate our activists. You think you're gonna get 20 altogether? Nah, I think they. I wouldn't be surprised, but I think they're gonna give him more than 25. I think they're gonna make an example out of him. See, this is the thing that people don't get. At least this is something I'm thinking about. I could be wrong. He should get life with no possibility of parole, says D. Riches. That sounds workable. That sounds like that makes sense. I'm not going to argue with you. But my point is, if they give him 45 years, it's basically life. That's what that whole scene in Shawshank Redemption was about. When dude finally got out of jail with his bird and went and hung himself. That's what that whole scene was about. They gave him so much time that even when they released him, his life was over. That's what that whole scene was about. Maybe they give him life, but then that's going to be too much of a deterrent for the other police officers. You know, the ones that might be good. That don't want to make a mistake. Which they shouldn't want to make a mistake. Let's not get that confused. But I think that'll be too much of a deterrent. I don't think you could give him life. I think that'll be bad for history. It'll feel good for us, but I think that'll be bad for America in the long run. He can't get life. Yes, B-boy. Anything after, he's 40-something years old. Anything after 25 years, you're basically giving them life. New York Urban Letter said, I'm going to fix my account after the show, but check it. He may only end up doing 5. Oh, really? New York Urban Legend then finishes, the laws in Minnesota is different. He's one of many cases that have actually been turned over. He may do 5 in parole, if that. But he's not connected, so we don't know. He's definitely not connected. That's my point, Roadrunner. That's my point. That's my point. You see, because if you give them life, then that's not fair. Because you setting a precedence. Like right now, they writing law. They writing law right now, whether you realize it or not. They're setting precedents in court. If you give them life, you're setting a precedence. You understand what I'm saying? So, I'm not saying that they're not going to give him life. What the fuck do I know? But what I'm saying, I'd be happy with anything 25 years and more. Because in reality, then they're giving him life. But if they just say life, it's going to be a different feeling. We don't want the police officers that's out here actually doing their job to feel like they lost. Alright? We don't want them to feel like they lost. Don't forget, there was police officers that took the stand against him. E-Dog says, you expect 15 years, the maximum minimum. E-Dog said he's a first-time offender. He might not get maxed out. Might not. B-Boy PR says life will deter other police from doing their job correctly. That's what I believe. You can't give them life. But if you send them to jail for 25 years, or send him to jail for whatever amount of time, but he can't go for parole until he do 25 years. That's the way I look at it. The last thing we want is for any police officers that would prefer to do the right thing to be scared to do the right thing and do the wrong thing. They had the whole force turned on him. Actually, I heard he was a dick. Not from the police. I'll tell you why I say that for a second. Hold on. New York Urban Legend said, we also got to remember this man did not comply. If you notice, our generation isn't preaching to these kids to not resist. They are trained to kill. We got to stop playing. They not playing. All right. So first of all, I don't know if that's the real New York Urban Legend. But first of all, they had him pinned to the ground. Every single person that took the stand that was part of the police said he should not have been on the ground that long. I don't care what he was doing. Copy? I don't care what he was doing. Every single person that was part of the police said that he shouldn't have been pinned to the ground that long. Period. I don't know what you're talking about, but period. What up, C Graph? She said, I do think he'd do 8 solid. We'll see. Black Cuddy says, Frost, I'm still haunted over Eric Garner case on video. At that, I wish the same energy I saw this happen today. New York City Staten Island case, R.I.P. Definitely R.I.P. to Eric Garner. Phil Jackson says, Frost, I just Google police officer with the most prison time given. Dude picture pops up. You serious? Hold on, I think you lied to me because I think you a troll. Police officer with the most prison time given. He's the first case, Derek Chauvin. Derek Chauvin is all of the... Yo, this shit is crazy. Derek Chauvin is all of the Joe balls. First two, first three. What the fuck? I guess that's the first four since April 2nd, 2021. Let me look at images real quick. They show his picture. They show him a lot. Shout out to him. He's got a thing going on now, for being a freaking garbage person. Rob Richards says they give us life for murder. Why shouldn't he get life? I just explained why they shouldn't give him life. I'm not gonna keep saying it over and over again. If you don't agree with me, you don't agree with me. That's fine. B-Boy PR says exactly, forces the law they could get 75 years, but when 25 years hit, he should see parole board. Boom. Yeah. This is the best way I could put it. If whenever you decide to punish, and this is a very serious situation, so please don't pretend or take it like I don't take the situation seriously. But whenever you decide to punish your child, you decide to give your child the worst punishment you can think of, you are setting a bad example. Whenever you decide to punish your child, you decide to give your child the worst punishment that is possible, you are setting a bad example. How many more of these you think we're gonna win if y'all send him to jail for life? How you think the real police officers, and I say real police officers, this is Rat Bastard was never a real police officer. What do you think about the real police officers that's out their job trying to do the job to the best of their ability? How you think they're gonna feel knowing that if they make a real mistake, they might get life? You don't even know what happened in that 15-year-old girl's case yet. Let's wait until some information comes out. Let's pray for her and her family, though. Let's pray for her soul and let's pray for her family. That's a fact. Let's pray for everybody involved. But also, let's find out what happened. Because if you're trying to tell me every single time a police officer shoots somebody, they're wrong, I'm going to tell you you're wrong. That was definitely a tragedy. What happened to that 15-year-old girl? Let's find out what the fuck happened. As far as I know, I'll just tell you what I heard so far, what we read so far at least. There was a situation going on at the 15-year-old girl's home. She needed assistance from the police. She was scared. She called the police. Something happened out in the yard. She got shot and there was a knife laying next to her. So there's a good chance that she was trying to fight somebody off. She ran out into the street. The police saw her with the knife. The police didn't know who they was coming there for, and they ended up shooting her. That's a good chance that just happened. And if that happened, do you send the police to prison? Or do you send the person who ran her out into the street, into the gunfire of the police to prison? Who you send to prison? The police that they don't know what the fuck might have happened. They just seen some girl running through the street with a knife in her hand, not even knowing that she was the one that called them, not even knowing that there's probably a domestic issue in her crib. So that's all I'm saying. Let's find out what happened. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to excuse nobody. Exactly. Or she was scared and had the knife for self-security. She called the, first of all, she was scared. Just so we could be clear, the 15-year-old girl was scared. She called the police. At least that's what I read. She called the police. This did not happen in Minneapolis either, or Minnesota, or wherever the other thing happened at. This happened in Columbus, Ohio. She was scared. She called the police. When the police arrived, she was outside for whatever the reason was with a knife in her hand. They ended up shooting and killing her. Now, do those police get held to go to jail? Or do the person who most likely had that she ran outside for, running from because she was scared of them, or do they go to jail? Who do we prosecute? That's all I'm asking. So could we find out what happened first? She was probably scared to death and grabbed a knife to get somebody up off her. We don't know what happened. If what I just described happened, that is super sad. Because that means that so let's see what happened. If that police officer shot her and if she got shot 4 times, if she wasn't supposed to be shot, then yeah, hell yeah, take those police officers, get everybody's freaking body cams. We see what the fuck is going on and hold whoever responsible, period. Rule don't nobody see those dots. Jones says they got to serve this punk no appeal. No matter, and remember, if they don't make an example out of him, they're going to tear the streets up, so they have to keep him locked up. 1, they have to keep them locked up. 2, yeah, he got to get some type of time. It's going to be more than 25 years. Pardon me. See, I think people don't realize how long a quarter of century is. It's a long time. I mean, he going to put it like this. The best way I could put it is that means he's gonna get out. And let's say he get 25 years, right? So he's getting out in 56, in 46. Pardon me. He getting out in 2046, 2046. I don't know who this is. Blank. I don't know Blank. You don't even got a name, Blank. Shout out to Blank. Blink man. Yes. 25 years is a life sentence. See, this is another thing you got to understand, right? Star date. That's a good one, that stars. This is a fact. 2046 sounds good to me, too. I don't expect for him to get out in 2046 because I don't expect for him to be alive in 2046. Did you see how that guy looked? You know how jail was going to do him? They're going to make sure I don't think they're going to put him anywhere where he could be in danger. I don't think they're going to put him anywhere where he could be in danger. And this is why I do be wanting to go on a show somewhere where I could debate, or we could have like a round table. Not a debate, because there's no debate. I'm 100% for the movement. Where we could have a round table and discuss ideas and stuff, because there's a lot of people that we want to get to the same place. They're just a lot more like militant than I am, or they're a lot more extreme than I am. I don't know how you want to put it. And I think that sometimes we have to have other ideas on the table too. I think we have to have other ideas on the table. We can't just have that one idea, that one concept on the table. We have to have other ideas on the table. You don't understand how upset I get when people come into the chat and they're trying to, I don't know what they're trying to do, but they're voicing opinions that just aren't good. I want you to voice opinions. I want you to say things that might be contrary to what I'm saying. I want that to make sense. I don't want you to just be thinking of things that I'm not saying just to be saying something different. Like, it's not just about saying something different. It's about saying something that trying to add value to the conversation. Often banned. Often banned says they're going to have him on lockdown 24 hours a day, as they should. Shout out to New York urban legend. The hell, they should have him in all of the lockdowns. You don't want him on lockdown? They should have him on all of the lockdowns. What are you talking about? There should be no one locked further down than him. You have a problem with him being on lockdown? It's so stupid. Somebody said, shout out to James S. Send me this shit. What the fuck? Soleil! Oh, your son was buying VR games. Your joint was frozen. It is what it is. Shout out to kids, man. See, this is the thing, right? We could either want real change or want revenge. We can't get both. It sounds good to get both, right? But we're not going to be able to get both. We're going to be able to get real change, and we're going to be able to get revenge. Because if we get revenge, we're going to create more enemies. That's all revenge ever does. Whenever you get revenge, it creates more enemies. Because when you get revenge, you get other people that are now scared that they're going to lose their position. I might be next. Just so we can be clear. That's what happens when you get revenge. Other people might fear they might lose their position. I might be next. Shit. You feel me? So you can get real change or you can get revenge. I think we've been doing well with getting real change over the last couple of months. I think this is part of the coup de grace. Just my opinion. I think that that Kim Potter girl don't stand a chance. Salad Finger says revenge is more just a source of short-term satisfaction and a step towards that's what's right. It's a fact. We're going to be able to get revenge, right? Or real change. Those are two choices. I want real change. 25 years of that man's life. Okay. Okay. Do I think he should get life? I ain't gonna lie to you. I think everybody that kills somebody should get life. I think if you out here killing people, you shouldn't be a free man. That's just me. Nikki says, should we forgive Derek? No. He's an enemy. You should never forgive your enemies. I don't know what you mean by forgive, by the way. Shout out to Nikki with the $6 drop. I don't know what you mean by forgive, by the way. But no, we should never forgive people who do evil. How can you forgive evil? Don't forgive evil. Evil is evil. You can't forgive evil. Don't make that a thing. Don't forgive evil. Evil is evil. Well, do you understand what being a good Christian is? One, I'm not a Christian, by the way. But do you understand what being a good Christian is? Read the first Testament. Read more of the First Testament, less of the Second Testament. Read more of the First Testament, less of the Second Testament. More of the First Testament. Always more of the First Testament. Literally, the Second Testament is only there to show you why that the First Testament that was how we should be living and what was right. That's all it is. B-Boy says, no, you are definitely right, Frost. I'm just a little hurt behind that, and I do not want change to be a person with asthma, and when I told them I can't breathe, they don't listen. Look, the first thing a police officer is a police officer is a peace officer. What up, Takashi? Police officer is a peace officer, right? So if a police officer is a peace officer, the most important thing for a police officer to do is to make sure that everybody is safe, right? Including whoever it is that they're attempting to arrest. That energy. I'm going to tell you something that is dope. I think the country's Japan. And I don't know if this law still exists, but if you're going a certain speed in your car, they don't chase you. So if you're going like 200 miles an hour, they don't chase you. If you're going like 180, they don't chase you. It's senseless. They're going to do more damage trying to catch you than they are actually catching you. My point being is that some of these arrests don't have to go down the way that they go down. Some of these times, you know who the person is. You know exactly who the person is that you're searching for. There's no reason why the police, after knowing exactly who the individual is that they're dealing with, why they can't back up and wait until they get enough people to get there in order for them to arrest the person as safely as possible so that person is not killed. That energy. Sometimes individuals got mental health issues. Other times an individual could be having a breakdown. Another time you could just not be the officer don't understand what the problem is. And sometimes when an officer doesn't understand what the problem is, they might not even know who to go after, that person or that person. They might not know who to restrain, that person or that person. They might not know who the problem is, that person or that person. So the number one issue is I guess the hero mentality that some of these individuals probably feel, that every time there's a situation, they have to make sure that they handle it with you know, like the guy from Beverly, like Axel Foley. We're not calling in any we're not gonna call in any backup. No, call him backup, homie. And that's what we want police to do. Instead of having to pull out a gun and unnecessarily shoot somebody, especially an unarmed individual, we just got to get more help. You know what? You just got to go get more help. You don't know what's going on with that guy. Is that guy shooting at you? Okay, he's not shooting at you. Why are you shooting at him? There has to be a higher standard than I thought he had a gun. Christians are warriors. That's a fact in the Bible. There has to be a higher standard than I thought he had a gun. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. It got to be a higher standard. But at the same time, a police officer shouldn't have to get shot at before they could defend themselves. They shouldn't have to get shot before they could defend themselves. They shouldn't have to get stabbed. I can't argue these are facts. I can't argue them. And that's why we have to make sure that whenever we have these bad police officers that overextend themselves, that they're held accountable. That's a fact. And all for the streets. They're out of a job. I want them to give him 45 years. And then just like they gave A.R.Ab, I want them to give this rat bastard 45 years. Just like they gave A.R.Ab. That's what I want. He don't got to say that when he's giving him the 45 years. But I want him to give him, you can't give him 45 years. Give him the 40. I want him to give him the 40. Give him the 40. E-Dog says she shouldn't have been shot 4 times regardless unless she was attacking police. We seen a kid go from nothing to Kingpin 848. Do his 25 years, come home and work in Walmart. We don't know what the situation was yet. I want to know what it is. Imagine if this happened. And this is sad if this did happen. And I'm not saying that this happened. I'm gonna say the situation one more time, E-Dogs. I don't know if E-Dogs is behind us or what. He might be behind us. He might be behind us, but I'm gonna say this one more time. She was having a domestic situation in her house. She called the police herself. This is what I read. I don't know how accurate this is. She called the police herself. When the police got there, for whatever the reason is, now she was outside. After they shot her, there was a knife next to her. Maybe she had the knife because she was being attacked, because there was somebody she was trying to keep off her. Maybe she didn't even know she still had the knife in her hand and ran towards the police. We don't know. If that's what happened, I don't know how I feel. If that's what happened, I want the person who she called the police on, they need to investigate that situation. And if they find out that there was something going on where she had probable cause to call the police, then that person should be tried. Whoever was the first police officer that overreacted, that person should probably be investigated. But I don't know what happened. And I'm not trying to give the police a way out. But what I'm saying is, if now that we have this situation where we finally got a police officer convicted of killing somebody in broad daylight the way that we do, now we have to sit back and we got to think rationally and make sure that we don't give this win away. If we start jumping, if we start barking at every call, we're going to give the win away. We can't bark at every call. So hold on, let's find out what happened. We got some good activists out there. They're going to be asking the right questions. Alright? Let's find out what happened. And if the police officer, any kind of weirdo shit revolving around this, then hell yeah, take them to task. Let's go. That type of time. Find out what happened. Hopefully he gets 45 years or better. I want him to get 45 years specifically because of ARAB. So that's my thing, just so we can be clear. That's my thing. I want him to get 45 years. But anything over 25 years, I'm good with. Anything over 25 years, anything over him doing 25 years. So I don't want him to get 25 years and he only got to do 85% of the time. I'm not cool with that. Anything where he has to do at least 25 years, I'm fine with. I'm fine with that. What up, Emmanuel? I'm fine with that. And I think that our activists who are getting these lawyers involved, that's a win. And if they're going to consistently get these lawyers involved, it's a win. What up, Jess 2.0? I think they should consistently get these lawyers involved, because they're getting the civil rights lawyers involved to go help the they're getting the civil rights lawyers involved to help the prosecution. I don't know whose idea that was, but that was a great idea, and they need to keep doing that. Keep them civil rights lawyers involved, helping the prosecution, because they're just not good enough to win in court. See, now this is the shit that pisses me off. This is what pisses me off. This pisses me off. That right there to me is enough that this officer needs to be investigated. He needs to be investigated. His arrest needs to be investigated. Does he have any problems with the community? Does he have any problems with the community? He needs to be investigated up and down. Boom. That's it. I think any police officer that says Blue Lives Matter needs to be investigated. I think anyone that says Blue Lives Matter, that obviously that's talk about white supremacist talk. So boom, he said Blue Lives Matter. That's enough for me. You know what? He needs to be investigated immediately. This whole entire shooting should be taken as, now this whole shooting is different now. Well, I'm not a Christian, but what are the first 3 commandments? Isn't it thou shalt love thy mother and father, one of them? All I know is, off the rip, Blue Lives Matter, off the rip. Any officer, look. This is my thing. I don't want us barking at every car. What up, Flower Bloom? I don't want us barking at every car. That dude said Blue Lives Matter. He needs to be investigated. Period. Period. Because now we know that even if a mistake happened because of his own how do you say, even if it was a mistake where the girl was running out asking for help, and it was a mistake that he thought that she was an individual that was actually running to attack him, it was because of his own convictions. So therefore, because of his own convictions, if he shot her because of his own convictions and not because she was an actual threat, then yeah, that's murder. That's 100% murder. If he shot her because of his own convictions rather than because his life was in actual danger, or he believed his life to be in actual danger, that's 100% murder. But do I think that a police have a right to shoot somebody running at them with a knife intending to do them harm? 100% absolutely. If a police officer is outside and there's an individual running at them with a weapon intending on doing them harm, a weapon like a knife, then yes, absolutely. If the person is trying to do them harm, absolutely, I believe that they should have the right to protect or defend themselves, and they shouldn't have to get stabbed or shot first. Salas Finger says, many of these cops are members of the fraternal organizations wherein they cover each other's ashes in events of trouble. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what you want me to disagree with you on that. Sounds about right. I'm going to give you a perfect example. You ever seen that meme of Meek talking and all the other rappers standing around looking at him like, I can't believe that he just said this stupid shit? Anybody else ever seen that meme? Everybody got these guys with them. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Everybody, every single organization, every single people, they have those people with them that it's like, what in the fuck? How did he get in here? How is he part of our team? Everybody has these guys. These guys exist. How in the hell? How did he get in here? These guys exist. Every team has these guys. The police have these guys. Regular street gangs have these guys. Rappers have these guys. The army has these guys. The politicians, the fucking, the Congress has these guys. We just had a president. He's one of those guys. Anthony Eman says, Jack Frost, this is a great point. If the cops shoot and murdered a teenage youth to prove a point, or because it was justified, it was evil and premeditated. No, what I'm saying is if an individual already have preconceived notions of preconceived feelings of dislike towards a certain demographic of people, that causes for them to feel like if that demographic of people's life is less value than another, then one, they shouldn't be a police officer. I don't care what you think about anybody. Everybody's life should be of the same value, period, right? Especially if you're a police officer, just so we could be clear. I'm talking about people in general, but I'm saying especially if you're a police officer. So if you have a police officer who their own personal feelings give them the impression that one demographic's life is less than other demographics' life, and then because of this feeling that they have, because of these preconceived thoughts and that they're acting on that they have, they then do harm to individuals that's part of this other demographic that they deem to be less than other demographics, then yes, they need to be held accountable. And if the thing is murder, they need to be held for murder. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's probably Rough Riders. They've been pulling up around here. That's probably the Rough Riders. Salute to the Rough Riders. That's a fact. I personally think that the police should make an effort to get certain police officers off of the force before they kill somebody. Because once you start doing that, then the public is going to start looking at you differently. Public isn't going to look at the police differently because police officers are being found guilty. They're going to look at the system differently that's finding the police officers guilty. When the police actually start policing themselves to the point where they're getting police officers off of the force that don't belong there, to the point where when police officers is doing weirdo shit out in public, they're holding their fellow police officers to the standard right there in front of the freaking public, then the people start looking at police different. But as long as the people that's holding the police to this standard and putting them in jail is the prosecutors and everybody else, nobody's going to look at the police differently. They're still going to have the same opinion of the police until the police either stop killing people and or start holding the individuals who are, going against the rules and regulations of what policing should be. They start holding them to task in front of people. Anthony Iman says, yep, I agree. You said if a cop says Blue Lives Matter, be a red flag, especially if something like murder's involved. I think if a cop says Blue Lives Matter in period, just so we can be clear. If he going to buy a donut and he's like, Blue Lives Matter, investigate that rat bastard. Period. And we're going to bring them in, and we're going to say, you do know that there are no blue people, right? That's the first hole. We're going to talk to him for half an hour to make sure that he knows that blue people don't exist. There's a reason for that. But we're going to talk to him for a half an hour, asking him a shitload of questions, making sure that he know that blue people don't exist. We're going to want to know why you think these blue people are more important. These blue people that don't exist are more important than black people who do exist. That could be along the times that, you're firing them. And for everybody that don't know, the idea and concept behind saying Black Lives Matter is every life matters except for black people's lives. So when black people's lives matter, everyone's life will matter. So literally saying any one life matter other than black people's lives matter is racist. Salad Finger says, they say don't bring a gun to a knife fight, but regardless of race, I feel any cop is wrong for shooting any 15-year-old girl with a knife. I think that if you're a police officer and you have somebody running at you with a weapon and you don't know why they're running at you with a weapon, first thing you should do is yell, put the weapon down or stop. That's the first thing you should be doing. Stop. Put down the weapon. They might not even know they have a weapon in their hand. Stop. Put down the weapon. That's the first thing you should do. Period. I'm not sure what I'm going to do after that. I'm personally probably going to take a couple steps backwards and try to get around the thing to make sure. Anthony Iman said, laugh out loud. Yep, because that insinuates segregation of sorts between humans. Not segregation, but wait, what are you saying that insinuates segregations between humans? Before I reply back to that, and I don't have fully understand what you're trying to say. Queen Shot said facts, and that's why I'm not a huge fan of the actual movement and what they portray. Salad Finger says crisis management, as you're saying, I agree. The idea and concept of Black Lives Matter, I'm 100% behind. I don't know the organization, what they do, or what they're trying to get done. So I'm not going to stand here and act like I support the actual Black Lives Matter movement, or not Black Lives Matter organization, pardon me. I support the movement and what the movement stands for. I don't know what the organization is about. I support Until Freedom. I support New York Justice League. I support those guys. Those guys I fuck with. I don't know about the Black Lives Matter organization. I don't know about their organization. I know about Until Freedom. I know about their organization. They on some real shit. I know about New York Justice League. They on some real shit. I fuck with their organization. I fuck with their organization. Period. Salad says they're supposed to be trained in negotiation. Police, no, police is not supposed to be trained in negotiation, man. They're supposed to be trained in de-escalation, not negotiation. Yo, what the fuck? What do you think police is trained in, homie? They're not trained in negotiation, man. They trained in de-escalation. That's what they should be trained in. What the fuck? Who said that? I don't think I corrected you. You said facts, and that's why I'm not a huge fan of the actual movement and what they portray. I think you were saying you're not a fan of the organization, right? That's what I'm saying. Oh, you did say organization. Okay, so you correct. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not a fan of. I don't know what the organization is doing. No disrespect to them. And I'm not even talking about the lady buying the $1 million houses and whatever the case is. I don't got shit to say about that. I don't count on the people money. But I don't know what they're actually doing with the money that's helping black people. Like, the way I feel is like this. I don't care if she bought those $1 million houses if she was doing shit for black people in our community. That's the way I feel. That's the way I feel. I feel that no matter what she was doing with that money, I don't care where she got the money for the houses. If she was putting money in the community, which I don't think they are, by the way. I don't think Black Lives Matter is putting money in our communities. I think Black Lives Matter is sending a lot of the organization. Pardon me, I believe the Black Lives Matter organization is sending a lot of the money overseas to do weird shit or do shit like, I don't know, that I don't understand. I'm not saying weird shit, that's not fair, but to do shit I don't understand. I think they trying to like educate people on, I don't know, educate people on transgender kids or something like that, for real. I'm not even joking. I think that's what they're doing. They're trying to educate other countries on their kids being transgender or something like that. So I don't know what Black Lives Matter is doing, the organization. Shout out to those guys. I don't have the slightest idea what they're doing, but it just don't sound like they're for me. No, I fuck with Black Lives Matter when they came down to some neighborhoods in the hood and helped single mothers or something. You know, spent a couple of those $1 million helping starting kids organizations somewhere for the kids to be able to have somewhere to go after school for free or something. Cherie Green said, justice for me would have been getting all the cops convicted that helped and watched murder George. See, this is the problem I have with that. Listen, I'm just explain something real quick. This is the problem I have with that. Listen what my problem is I have with that. Just so we could be clear. Some of those cops were new on the force. They didn't know shit, and they were just following his lead. Some of those cops was new on the force, didn't know shit, and was following his lead. What you want to do then? Not everybody got the balls to say to their supervisor, yo, is this really good? Like, this really what we doing? Not everybody got those kind of balls. Not everybody got that kind of, don't got that type of temerity. Not everybody got that in them. You understand what I'm saying? Yo, this don't feel right, yo. Are you sure? Nah, we can't do this. Not everybody got that. Not everybody got that. Everybody don't got that. Yeah, it's a chain of command. Them other dudes wasn't even on. Two of those guys wasn't even on the force for like a year. They was like, wait, 3 months or 6 months or some shit like that. They was brand new out the box. That's all I'm saying. My fault, my energy isn't really high today. It's just that we're talking about something that I don't see where I could be laughing about but so much. Just so we can be clear. I'm not even saying followers at this point. I'm just saying we're talking about individuals that it's hard for me to explain. But when you got a commanding officer, when you got somebody over you that you supposed to, it's hard for me to explain. You just it's hard to explain. I don't know how to tell you. It's just hard to explain. Like when you gotta tell somebody who has you're at a place and you got to tell somebody who has authority over your position, and you got to put them, you got to say something to them that's like putting them in their place, stepping out of bounds, stepping out of line. Like, it's not as easy as a lot of people think it is, especially when you brand new out the box. Yeah, both murders in Minneapolis involve cops training cops. Don't let that go over your head. That's a fact, DSCN. You don't want to make waves. Not everybody has that in them. It's just not as easy as it's just not as easy as it sounds. Now everybody got that in them. Those other officers, with the exception of the Asian dude, who I think should be held, I think the Asian dude 100% needs to be. There needs to be a trial for him. That's a fact. But them other two dudes, I don't know. They were new. They were brand new. The Asian dude, hell yeah. Where he at? Where he at? Let's get him in the suit. Get him in front of a jury. ASAP. Them other two officers, I don't know. You got to give me more. You got to give me more. That Asian dude, get him in front of a jury ASAP. I don't even know why he wasn't in front of a jury, why this rat bastard was in front of the jury. To be honest with you. Don't let none of that go over your head. While everybody's like, don't let none of that go over your head. Pardon me. Any more questions about this particular thing? Anything anybody want to ask me about this particular case? DSCN said, cop in Baltimore turned up dead from his own service weapon before taking the stand against fellow squad mates. Ate his gun. Bill Jackson said the Asian dude laying low, hoping everybody forgot about him. Yeah. He needs to be held accountable. It's a lot going on in America. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't allow for yourself to get overwhelmed. Don't allow for yourself to get overwhelmed. That's another reason why I'm saying what I'm saying the way I'm saying it. Don't allow for yourself to get overwhelmed. Alright? For real, for real. There's a lot going on in America. You do not want to allow for yourself to get overwhelmed. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You're going to have a lot of people that this is just back to back. One person getting shot, that person getting shot. Police, 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 police. Racist this, racist that. Karens. And this shit is just, it's going to be too much for a lot of people. You're going to see, it's going to be a lot of self-destruction going on out there. The cop that actually turned it on his side basically did what I'm saying should have been done. Basically did what I'm saying should have been done. Somebody had to say something. Oh shit. That's interesting. Watch out for Kevin's. I'm laughing. I'm laughing. Yo, what you doing? Is that an inner space? Is that a Final Space reference? I'm just asking. Is that a Final Space reference? Is that a Final Space reference? He's a whole troll, whoever the fuck this is. Is that a Final Space reference? I'm sorry. Literally, if that's a Final Space reference, is that a Final Space reference? If that is, that might be one of the funniest jokes ever told here. By anyone. Real talk. If you watch Final Space, you'll know why I'm laughing. That's why I'm like, is that a Final Space reference? Oh man, if you watch Final Space, you know why I'm laughing. I'm way too versed in everything. Yeah, but the Asian police officer, he's a rat. They need to get him up out of here. He needs to be. He was literally threatening to do shit to people that wanted to stop the Derek Chauvin from murdering the guy. They did this before. Don't let that go over your head. He should 100% be prosecuted. If not anything else, I believe there's a law. I don't know if it's a federal law or whatever, but they need to look and see if that law in that state has the law where you can't stand by and allow somebody to die. You have to do something to help someone. It's called indifference. Something indifference. They need to see if that law is in that state, and if so, then he needs to immediately be hit with that. Why do you think Home Alone? Oh, he could have just said Kevin's because I said Karen's. Life reference, alright. If that was a Final Space reference, that would have been one of the funniest jokes ever told on this channel. Damn yeah, for real. I believe both of the other cops cooperated. I wouldn't be surprised if the Asian cop also cooperated. He looked like he's that type of guy. But both of the other cops cooperated. But I told you that both of the other cops was going to cooperate. And I believe I also told you that I didn't even think the other 2 cops was going to get tried. That's why I'm not even surprised about any of this stuff. And I'm going to tell you real quick, Anthony Iman. There's this fucking show called Final Space. It's like one of the funniest sad shows I've ever seen in my life. It comes on fucking Adult Swim. Anyway. Anyway, in this show, Final Space, I'm going to give this reference real quick to what I thought he was talking about. In this show, Final Space, the protagonist has this machine that follows him around that has to stay with him so he don't go crazy because he was locked in a jail by himself for 5 years. And since you're in this jail by yourself for 5 years, they got this machine that hovers around and stays with you to keep you company so you don't go crazy. That machine is Kevin. The character that's the protagonist, he hates the fucking machine. Anyway, so the character somehow turns into a super good guy that starts saving the galaxy or all the universes or some old weird shit. And the Kevin dude still always wants to be his friend. He don't want Kevin to be his friend, so he's just annoying as shit. It was a really good reference, but you don't watch the show, so you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's a good show. Anyway, I'm going to let y'all go. We should have a morning coffee tomorrow. I don't believe there's going to be a Tonight Show tomorrow. So for everybody, I don't believe there's going to be a Tonight Show tomorrow. And we might be in Philly on Friday. I don't believe there's going to be a Tonight Show tomorrow. And we might be in Philly on Friday. I plan on being on Philly on Friday. At least that's the plan. So there won't be a Tonight Show tomorrow. There should be a morning coffee. I'm not 100% sure. It depends on how the morning go. But I'm thinking there's going to be one. The Asian cop sisters married to Chauvin, but they got a divorce. And now they going through tax problems or some shit. Because they wasn't filing taxes for a couple of years or something. I'm not sure what I'm repenting for, but yeah, why not? I repent for everything. Every bad deed I've ever done in my life, I repent for. I don't even know what you're talking about, but shout out to you. With that being said, I'm going to let y'all go. I don't have nothing to really go out with today. Love your loved ones. Love your loved ones. If you spend time loving the people that you're supposed to be loving, you don't have enough time to be doing shit that's going to take away from who you are. So love your loved ones. Spend your time with them. Spend your time building up people. Spend your time encouraging others. Spend your time going after the W, but at the same time, spend your time being around people that you could bring along for the win. We got like this weird period of time that we live in right now. Like, it's absolutely bananas. We got all types of different social change happening. And it's happening so rapidly and so fast that I don't think people really understand what's going on. I think some people want to get involved. I think some people don't want to get involved. And I think some people truly don't understand just what their input is doing to help or hurt the situation. So let's be active. Let's be mentally active, physically active, spiritually active. For everybody that could be financially active, do that. But realize that there's a time happening right now. 20 years ago, these couple of years are going to be a big deal that people are going to speak on. Don't let that go over your head. You're living in the time right now that means something. Not that all time doesn't mean something. But this time that we're living in right now, change is happening. There's people making names right now. There's probably some people that you don't even realize they're going to have plaques and monuments made to them 40, 50 years from now. So cherish this time. Learn what you can. Pass it to the next generation. Because at the end of the day, what are we? Even right now, all of us are just memories. So let's make good ones. If you got anybody still awake in your house, give them a hug. Tell them you love them. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Give people their flowers while they're still here. Also, when we wake up in the morning, one of the first things we want to do is drink water. We want to become healthier day by day. Also, we got to get a little bit more active. I'm going to participate in that also. With that being said, like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one.